If you ever wonder what the One Piece really is, this movie gives you a wild taste. The Straw Hats end up competing with more than 1,000 pirates in a massive treasure hunt for Goldie Roger's secret prize. The entire world's generation is ready to risk their lives just to get their hands on this mysterious treasure. What's up everyone? I've been dressed up today because this video is straight up cinema. So go ahead and smash that like button. I know some of you sneaky folks still haven't done it. Subscribe too, and let's jump right into the treasure hunt of the Pirate King. The movie starts with Blackbeard laughing like a maniac, looking completely unhinged inside a prison full of absolute monsters. He forced the prisoners to fight each other, and whoever survived would join his crew of lunatics. But inside that prison, there was one man people whispered about the demon hair, a guy even Teach didn't dare mess with. 2 years later, in a creepy looking castle, an oddball is reenacting Gold Roger's iconic speech about wealth, fame, and power, except he twists it into something completely insane. This eccentric guy is Buenafesta, the master of festivities, and he claims he has a clue to Roger's long-lost treasure, the legendary One Piece. He's infamous for throwing massive pirate festivals, hosting dangerous outlaws, and decorating his walls with wanted posters of every pirate he wants to take down. The man literally has Chopper on his hit list. What kind of monster does that? Meanwhile, in the New World, the Straw Hats have been invited to the biggest pirate festival in the world. Everyone is hyped, grilling food, partying is pure chaos. Brooke remembers hearing rumors about this festival. Rare ships, luxury food, secret info. It's basically a pirate black market disguised as a party. But the big highlight? A massive treasure hunt for Goldie. Roger's clue: when they arrive, the place is overflowing with pirates from every corner of the world. There's even a beauty pageant. Robin takes first place and earns 1,000,000 berries. But honestly, competition was tough this year. Karina showed up, and even a pirate who looked suspiciously like an anime version of a pop diva. Buenafesta watches everything from his control room, sipping wine with the grin of someone who definitely doesn't have good intentions. Then he welcomes everyone to the grand banquet, announcing that here, pirates are free to steal, fight, or even kidnap anything goes. The only rule is simple: don't snitch to the Marines. Meanwhile, a suspicious figure wearing a tiger mask sneaks around. The festival host, alongside a girl who works with holographic projections, reveals why everyone was invited. 20 years ago, the Pirate King left behind a clue on this very island, one that could lead to the One Piece. And now, the greatest treasure hunt in pirate history is about to begin. More famous pirates start arriving, including Law, although he looks like he's been through absolute hell. 5 minutes before the games begin, the Straw Hats are so full from eating that they look like they're about to explode. But thanks to anime logic, Luffy is back to normal in seconds. Usopp is hyped until he sees the monsters he is competing against. Meanwhile, Boogie and Mr. Tree are sprinting for their lives. They're trying to capture Law for bounty hunters so they can spend the money on booze. Law gets cornered, but thankfully Sanji runs by at the perfect moment and rescues him. The Marines aren't far behind either. Tashigi and Smoker are watching closely, ready to capture Buenafesta, and they're also hunting the terrifying Douglas Bullet. Yes, that Douglas Bullet. The same guy Blackbeard was terrified of in prison. Buenafesta has teamed up with this monster for a plan far more dangerous than a simple festival. Suddenly, everything starts shaking. A giant whirlpool opens beneath the ships, dragging them upward and then slamming them back down. And then an enormous bubble rises from the ocean, with the whole island inside it. That is where Rose's treasure is hidden. Kid launches ahead immediately. Of course, always the first to pick a fight. A pull ship races behind him, then X-Drake's crew, and even Julie Bonet shows up. Calm down, guys. She's canonically 12 in this movie. Every member of the Worst Generation is here: Beck, Hawkins, Uruk, the whole squad. Bartolomeo blocks attacks to protect the Straw Hats, while Frankie uses one of his crazy upgrades to turn the Sunny into a giant mechanical penguin that can fly. Buggy threatens everyone like usual, and Sanji blasts him away with a wind kick just as usual. The Straw Hats speed past everyone while the narrator announces their arrival like they're celebrities. Buena Festa watches with a sinister smile, saying the real fun is about to begin. Someone starts opening a side door, and if you've been paying attention, you already know it's law. He warns the Straw Hats that they need to leave immediately. Buena Festa is planning something catastrophic, and his own crew barely escape. Robin volunteers to go with him, and of course Sanji joins her, followed by Brooke. Frankie lends them a mechanical shock, and they dive off the cliff. Meanwhile, the Straw Hats reach the island first. At the top of a mountain sits a destroyed ship overflowing with gold and jewels, Roger's treasure chest sitting right at the center. Second everyone else arrives, chaos erupts. Zoro takes on Killer, Luffy gets blasted in the face by an explosion, Apple blocks his path, and Kid tries to rush the treasure only to get hammered by Drake. Biggie unleashes an army from inside his body. Bonnie completely embarrasses him by turning the army into babies and old men. And Hawkins reads his tarot cards alone, because let's be honest, he doesn't have friends. Usopp unleashes a wild Midoriboshi attack, Nami electrifies half the island, and Frankie fires a massive bazooka. Pirates drop like flies as Luffy pushes forward, but Uruj knocks him back with a headbutt that sends him flying. Meanwhile, Buggy sneaks to the treasure chest unnoticed. Low's group infiltrates a hidden cave, but Robin hears something horrifying. Buena Festa plans to trigger a Buster Robin freezes in terror. She's already survived two Buster in her life, this would be her third. They try to escape only to run into Smoker, who attacks immediately. Sanji steps up to face him, using Armament Haki to counter Smoker's abilities, while Law gathers strength to escape with Robin. Back on the island, Boogie screams that the treasure is instantly drawing attention from every pirate. Instead of grabbing the chest and leaving, he runs around like an idiot, waving it above his head. Luffy leaps to punch him, Buggy stumbles, opens the chest by accident, then the entire island explodes. The bubble bursts, the island collapses, and everyone falls from the sky. Zoro dives to save Luffy from drowning, while pirates swim for their lives. Buggy somehow catches the chest midair and looks inside only to freeze in disbelief. Then a shadow emerges from the smoke. Douglas Bullet appears, holding Usopp's head with two fingers like it's nothing, the treasure chest in his other hand. His power is overwhelming, he could crush Usopp like a grape with a single squeeze. Luffy charges in to save him, but Bullet uses an ability like teleportation to swap positions and sends Luffy flying with one devastating punch. Everyone is horrified. Boogie recognizes him instantly because Bullet was once part of Roger's crew and was so strong he even surpassed Rayleigh. If Bullet wanted, he could wipe out every pirate on that island single-handedly. And to make things worse, someone tipped off the Marines, and an entire fleet is now heading straight for the festival. Everyone panics, wondering who betrayed them. Little do they know, it was Buena Festa himself. How are the Straw Hats supposed to deal with this? Can Luffy and the Worst Generation fight a monster strong enough to destroy entire armies? That answer comes in the next video.